Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. The link to my Patreon will be found down in my description box below, or you can join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? So, clairaudiently, I just heard the words low IQ. Okay, low IQ. Let's tap into this message and see what this is about. We have the Seven of Swords here, okay? We have Gemini energy with the Seven of Swords. We have the Sun, okay? So I'm channeling an energy here. I'm seeing that there is a specific person here. There's a person that thinks they're smarter than, most people, or they have more to offer in terms of their mental acuity than most people. They just deem themselves this overly clever, smart person, right? This is the reality that they live within themselves. All right. This is how they look at themselves. All right. This is their perspective. We have the Star. Yeah. This is I'm seeing a bigot, right? A narcissist, a egomaniac. I'm seeing somebody that stands in that state of being. Okay, we have the Two of Cups here. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. This person constantly goes back and forth within themselves about whether or not they can even I don't want to say compete, but they compare value, that the value they have and hold as an individual, they compare it to your value that you hold as an individual as well. So your qualities, your characteristics, your traits, things of that nature, whether they are of weakness or strength, this person, they literally dissect your individuality in that context and then compare it to who they are, right? We have the Knight of Wands. This is somebody that before they encountered you, however way they did, they were very sure of themselves. They did not see any faults and flaws in the way they were as a person. They back to this ego head, right? This bigot, this narcissist of a person, they just operated from that state of being for a very long time, most of their life, right? So because of that, of course, somebody who stands in that energy will find it hard to take self accountability or to see themselves outside of the illusion they're comfortable with. So the illusion is they're this person that is overly smarter than most people, overly clever than most people. They just have this mental acuity that no one can match up to in their world, their reality, and their life, and all those things, right? But you struck a nerve. You struck a nerve when it comes to this person, because the very same person in this state of being feels the complete opposite about themselves whenever they think of you, look at you, talk about you. Whenever you are brought up, whenever anything has to do with you, it just shoots them to a 0%, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even physically, they whole identity just shoots to a 0%. It was a coping mechanism for a long time for this person to be this way, thinking that because they never felt worthy or seen or heard the way they wanted in life, as in their childhood years and so forth and so on, I'm seeing that they developed that state of being from that trauma of not feeling seen or heard or acknowledged the way they truly wanted to be. Everybody else seemed more than them or better than them, or just everybody else seemed to have more value in general. And that pushed this person over the edge and enabled them to adapt to this state of being and this take on this energy for all their life, right? Because of that. We have the Queen of Wands here. We have the Nine of Cups. On top of how you affect this person, they also deem you to be this attractive is an understatement. Like, you see, they deem you to be this person that, like, on top of all of that, you still like are this beautiful, attractive, good looking person. Like, you take good care of yourself and you look good, or you just very as the audience, you just heard scrum diddly yum. Scrum diddly. Oh, that's a tongue tie. Scrum diddly yum. Scrum diddly yum. I got it. Okay. Yeah, they just like you, just this person, right? And they know that's something they can't even deny or try to take away from you, or your identity rather, right? It is what it is. They know that, right? Everything else they can't deny as well, but they can try to program, convince, or condition themselves to not see that about you, right? That, because why else would you be impactful enough to them to drop their identity to a 0%, like who they thought they were mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically? You just drop that to a 0%. How, if you are not who you are, right? But back to this low IQ. Excuse me, I keep channeling that same energy of low IQ. So I'm being asked to speak on that. So I'm channeling and seeing that this person, back to what we've established of where this persona comes from, right? This ideology of self, this self-concept that they've taken form of, it stems from their own traumas of life. So moving on from that, when you are what you serve to be in this person's life is a reality check. Picture this person living this way for so long that they actually begin to believe it. They actually begin to believe that they are who they've illusionized themselves to be based on persona or their own character traits or their own character, their own identity that they've illusionized. You hold a reality check to that because of who you are in authenticity, originality, and truth. You being real, that's the reality check. You being who you are, basically, that is the reality check for them. We have the Ace of Swords here. For some reason, for some odd, peculiar, strange reason, this person constantly dwells on the fact that you are this reality chick, right? And they're very phased and bothered, annoyed, angry at the wrong person because they should be taking a look at the mirror and figuring out what really is wrong about them. But they've gotten too deep within this rabbit hole of illusions that they've conditioned, and programmed themselves to believe that it's hard. They just can't. It's like there's so many layers and aspects and contributing factors to this illusion of identity that, like, to look at it for what it is will take them having to go back to what the root cause is, what turned them to be that way, why they became that person. Like, I'm channeling an energy of, like, they're so big mouthed. Like, this person, like, they just be yapping, but would never actually face you, like, ever. We have the Ten of Pentacles here. From the outside looking in, certain things about you should already know, right? Like, I know about me, I'm easily envied, right? Or, easily just, I can really, like, be a prick to somebody just because I am who I am. And it's not like I care about them or I know them or it's deep because of some form of history bond or relationship. Nah, it's just me being me can do that. It can, and it's the territory of being an individual that actually knows who they are and stands on their own originality, authenticity, truth, and realness. I can't expect anything less in a world filled with clones, copycats, and self-proclaimed identities and individuals. So with that being said, you yourself can't be in a predicament where you feel a type of way about this, right? Clearly here, somebody is just lost within themselves and they haven't figured that out. And you are a reminder to them that they aren't who they thought they were. And imagine waking up to the truth of that. You're not who you thought you were. That's like life-changing information or life-changing truth. We have the King of Cups. So with all that being said, you have now led this person down another rabbit hole And this one in particular is based on um, like this person, they're in a rabbit hole right now, going deeper, and it consists of just reality. You know, they're forced to really acknowledge who they are without the illusions and the falsehood, right? They're forced to confront themselves and what's really wrong, what bothers them so much about you, what presses them this much, why they're so mad. It's 10 a.m. in the morning, you ain't had no breakfast and you so mad. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? It's that energy where it's like, damn, like, what's wrong with you? For real, for real. Right? But with that being said, keep being unfazed and unbothered by people like this, because this is one of many, and you know that, right? People, oftentimes in this world that we live in, we are surrounded by chameleons and trickster spirits and people like this, basically. And it's sad because of the truth of why they are like this. But the saddest thing is that it's either they look at the truth or they die with delusion. It's like, wouldn't you rather just live your life in the most truth that you can than lying to yourself, right? And this person, like, you are that reality chick that they're lying to themselves. And of course, you're gonna prick them the wrong way. All right. So it is what it is. It is what it is. It shouldn't matter to you that this is what it is, because, like we've established, if you are somebody that stands in a certain energy, you are bound to be triggering, to say the least. All right. Thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. You'll find the link to my Patreon listed in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google. Search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.